Hey, I'm Thomas. I'm an engineer in the IDE group at GitLab. And today I want to show you something really cool. Something that myself, Shekar, and Stanislav have been working on for the last 3 weeks, I think. So we are now working on unifying the code suggestions code base into a single place, which is going to be the desktop extension. And we are also creating a foundation for all other features that are supposed to be running in both WebIDE and the desktop extension, desktop VS Code. All these features will be now implemented using our new pattern in the desktop extension, and they will automatically work in WebIDE as well. So that is really cool. We are pretty far with our implementation. There are still few issues in flight. I'm going to explain the sequencing and whatnot, but first I want to show you like a demo of how all these pieces work together. So I have a local WebIDE running already set up. I checked out all our branches to make it work with the desktop workflow extension. I can start the WebIDE. I'm going to just clear the console so I can show you how we call the model gateway. But first I'll open a file that's JavaScript because code suggestions work for JavaScript. I'm going to clean these, and now I'm going to make a change. And you can see that we asked for the token as an authentication, and then we asked for completions, and our model gateway returns some suggestion that that you can apply or not apply as you want. So this is our code suggestions from the desktop extension from workflow running in WebIDE. Now this is not production yet. We've got several pieces still in flow, but all these issues that are outstanding, except for deleting the old code suggestions code base from WebIDE, have merge requests in flight. So it's looking pretty promising. Now this is only MVC. We are then planning to, there is so much work that we outscoped, mainly around developer convenience and maintainability, that we just didn't consider for this MVC because we were rushing to make a single code suggestions code base. So we are not creating technical debt by copy pasting slightly different versions of code suggestions in WebIDE and desktop. So this is by no means a finished project, but after we finish this MVC, I'll link the issue link in the video description. Once we finish this MVC, you will go to, if you want to change code suggestions, you will go to the desktop extension. You'll open the code suggestions code, which lives in this folder. You change it here, and the change, once we propagate it through WebIDE and to GitLab, it will live in both WebIDE and a workflow, and you made one change. Another really neat thing about this is this pattern is reusable by other features. So whoever wants to implement a feature that works in WebIDE and desktop extension can go have a look how the code suggestions work and do the same thing for their feature. What's outstanding work on this, or what work still needs to be done, is plugging in the desktop extension into WebIDE. I showed you some proof of concept, but it's not production ready yet. That's something that Shekar is working on. We are already building all the bundles and have a really good process for building the desktop extension for both desktop and browser. That's thanks to Stanislav's great work. And we already have platform implemented for desktop thanks to Shekar, and I now implemented the platform for browser. So this is these two issues are implementing the platform for browser and connecting code suggestions to it. Then we need to plug in the desktop workflow into WebIDE, and we have one outstanding issue that Ilya is working on that is creating status bar, because you would see now there is no status bar icon, but in the WebIDE code suggestions at the moment, there is a little tanuki with star that indicates whether code suggestions are enabled or not. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Keep your eyes on this epic. Once all the issues are closed, that means that there is only one code suggestions code. Exciting.